Okay, everybody. I hope you can hear me. I'm not sure who's on here yet. So let's wait for a little sound check. It's for some thumbs up. And let's see what's going on. All right. Can you hear me? I have one viewer. Can you hear me? See or no? All right, everybody. So we just have a couple of viewers. If you can hear me, hit yes in the chat, please. Can you hear me? Are you able to hear me right now? Great. Okay, so everyone, this is a real quick impromptu live covering what I went over before. Essentially, I'm starting a podcast that encompasses the human rights of what's going on today. This is not political. Please keep your political comments and hate comments to yourself. You can send me emails or clarification letters later. However, that's not what this is about. Okay. Some of you received my outline, and I'll try not to have so many ums. As a Toastmaster, or former Toastmaster, I trained in that. So just give me a minute or so to set up, get a few more viewers on here, and let's go put my doc. I'm going to create a shared Google Docs drive where I can give you all the information that I'm talking about and we're publishing and referencing. Okay. I'm doing this in English because a majority of my audience tonight speaks English. Not only like me, we're some of us bilinguals, some of us are bilingual. I promise when I have the actual podcast, I will have both languages. The main thing is, okay, I'm adding to the camera. I'm going to be collaborating with a few different groups, ladies and gentlemen, and we're going to make it happen. All right, we're going to work together, and the main thing is that this is social again, not political. And I'm sorry for harping on that. I just want to give a few more minutes to people that asked me to share the link to come in. Okay, so just give me a quick 30 seconds here. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to read this. Just my little quick intro to my outline. La muerte democrática. Democracia. Okay, I said it wrong the first time. Está enfrente. Está in front of us. Los frenos, the brakes, have been there. However, our rights have not escaped. No se escapan las libras. Tengo una imagen del poder, el poder de hacer. The power to do something. Okay. I'm producing some podcasts that will highlight the struggle of the people. When I say the people, it's La Frontera. It's everything that us in northern New Mexico and other similar areas in Arizona have been subjected to. There's some serious stuff. I had some critics last time that were negatively commenting. That's okay. I need both sides. I don't want everybody to agree with me. The main thing is that we need to work together. Hola Mel, hola Antonio, toda la raza unida. Okay. I congratulate all of you because you're still here with me. And we are the people, part of the people. We're a sect, a sample, if you will, of the people. Antonio said you can't see me. Okay, how about now? Better? I had the camera on you, Carnal. I don't use this platform a lot. I'm going to YouTube next, but they are reviewing my request to stream live. Big surprise, no? Okay, so basically I said, soy un chicano navegando un mundo sin querer, sin vergüenza y sin potencia. Y si no hay cambio, ¿qué habrá? Okay, I'm not going to translate that. Some of you don't speak Spanish or understand it, okay? That's okay. The main point here is for all of us to work together. Our rights have been eroded for too long. And I ask every one of you to listen, to put comments, and to let me know what your thoughts are. Again, this is not political. So I'm going to have a series of podcasts starting with 12 episodes. And I'll explain the 12 later, the divisibilities and the cyclical nature of certain things that I do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have 12 subjects, okay? The introduction, which is part of what I'm doing now. And we're going to have La Historia de la Gente y las Gorras Blancas. It's basically the history of La Gente, which I refer to as the indigenous people of New Mexico. Those of you who don't know, there are a lot of us who are indigenous who are not classified as native to the government. The Genizaros, I'm a Genizaro, soy Genizaro. Genizaro, I don't want to simplify it. However, a synopsis would be that we are the bastard children and children of natives who were used and raped and pillaged by the Spaniards. This was occupied by Mexico and by España. Most of you should know. Okay. And that's okay if you don't. I will have further podcasts that are canned, that are not live. We'll go into depth about some of these things. My main concern now is the solidarity of the people. I don't care if you are Hispanic, government-derived term, Chicano, which I claim. Chicano is not a race, it's a way of life. Okay, I can go further into that as well. What I really want everybody to do is to work together. Listen to my podcast. I want you to be part of it. I want you to have comments, start chats, start dialogues, argue with me at first, but I want it to be a debate at the end. I don't want everybody just that's not what this is about. Okay. The main point is our civil liberties have been systematically stripped from us. And it hurts me because some of us are able to navigate these waters. May not be smooth waters, but we can do it. Okay. I'm trying to say okay instead of because it sounds kind of lame. Second story, second episode will be the history of las Gorras Blancas. I said the introduction. And then third is Separación de la Cultura. Those of you who are historians know that one of the steps of occupying a people is to separate them from their cultures. Language, culture, beliefs, values, religion, and also spirituality. spirituality exists without religion in of itself, and that's another subject. The reason I start that with this is we as the people from around here, which my target audience at first, I want this to be worldwide. But in order to form a power base, we need to be on the same page. Okay, we need to know how we came to be about here. I'm gonna have hopefully Rock come in and talk about Las Corras Blancas. Some of you know about Las Corras Blancas. They cut fences. Well, it's not about, and that's very powerful to me because the native part of me is soy Genízaro. Okay, I can't prove which tribe I came from because the government quantified individuals with blood quanta. Government derived possessions. We are possessions. And Isaros, real quick, we're just, again, we are indigenous people. Okay. Therefore, I will correct individuals that try to look from the top down and think they know everything. Garnett, if you're watching, I'll name you on camera because I'll face you because you're a strong mofo and I need your help. This is not just limited to people around here. We need to organize now. We can't just see the tyranny forming around us without doing anything. My main thing about this podcast is to have human interaction, collaboration, dialogue, and solutions. I'm tired of people coming on here and saying, blah, blah, blah. Do something. I'll try not to cuss because I also want the youth to be involved. That's something that we're missing big time. I hear the bashing of Gen Zers every freaking day. I get it, they're different. Every difference is perceived as a threat in the beginning. However, they're part of us. Okay, I'm sorry if I'm rambling, but I'm not sorry. I'm trying to condense this into something that is the intro to my podcast. Going to number 4, Profetos y Proféticas de la Historia de la Sistema Endémica. And I use that term, endemic. It's a biological term. We're biological creatures. This is a sickness, a disease that's been growing, that now has been thriving because of desegregation of the people. The big brother, whatever you want to call it, the 1%ers, they don't give a shit about us. They don't. All I care about is this feria, la lana, money, soft money, corrupt politicians, vested interests has been the ruin of democracy. That's what I'm talking about in this podcast, okay? So the endemic system, we're going to go over how it's become a disease. There's Chicanos pulling down Chicanos. There's Hispanos pulling down Chicanos. There's people pulling down people. At the end of the day, we're the 99%. I talked to a friend of mine the other day. This individual was telling me, well, we can't do anything. What are we going to do? My answer was, we're the 99%. Power for the people. Demos kratein. Greek word or words. Power for the people or of the people. It can be translated differently. Government ruled by people. That's what democracy was supposed to have been. It's been eroded into this false idolism ruled by sociopathic corporations, and I could go on. Outline that more in the podcast. Okay. So, Profeticos y Profeticas, I'm talking about Martin Luther King, X, the Black Panthers. That's all stuff that I'm going to bring in. I'm talking with individuals from
the Brown Berets. I have a couple from the Black Panthers. We have some individuals who are forming or have been involved in the socialist movement, which I'm going to collaborate with 100%. Coffees for Commies, I'm with you. I want to work with you. And we'll work together and we will make a difference. I guarantee it. We can teach each other and do good things because at the bottom of my heart, this is about the people. It's not political. It is a socialist movement. Okay? I might be banned, and I will. I've been censored already. I don't care. I will post different links and have different forums. It's not always going to be on this or that, but I will keep it up. If the internet's down, talk to me. There's some options, okay? And that's the Propheticos. It's Propheticas. It goes all the way back down to 17th century, predating modernistic behaviors. We'll get into that later. Okay, so we're going to Razones Internacionales de la Régimen de la Propaganda. Okay, so these are international relations, which has been corrupted and brought down to money. Capitalist class is not compatible with democracy. Why? Well, it's because the most Klatein is the people, not vested interest companies and corporations that are profiting off you. The Elon Musks, all these, I could say a bad word, but I'm not, because I have restraint. Those of you who are with me that are fighters, we can do it. And we will. You know, that's a big thing. I'm talking about international relations. I want to introduce documents of struggles in different countries that I've been reading. I've been just ingesting so many things. Yes, most of them are in Spanish. That's okay. We have the means to translate, and I'll go over in more detail. Sí, Simón, que sí, el poder de hacer. The other one I want to think that I want to talk about is la inseguridad de la gente, the insecurity of the people. The very being of Genisados has caused insecurity. Why is that? The power differential. The one percenters, they want to maintain that power differential. How do you do that? Well, by keeping us fighting amongst each other. And you know what I say to that? I don't care if you're a Trumper, the MAGAs are whatever. At the end of the day, we're human beings. Okay? All the time that we take pointing the finger, talking shit about this group and that group could be used for good. And I guarantee most of us are 99%. We're the 99%. Don't think we can't make a difference. That's bullshit. I had this conversation with a good friend of mine the other night. I said, yeah, you know, it might feel like we can't do anything. The government is powerful. It's almost a fascist state already. Arguably has been since 86. I'll go into that as well. In this number 7, I'm going to give the Hinisaros and post the stuff about the Hinisaro experience that I'll highlight further that I'm talking about indigenous groups that have been here and that have been segregated and so on and so forth. Okay. 8 is facturas, historias, y naturalezas. This has to do with the pace and place and a face, and the fact that you can have spirituality without having religion. Religion is that power differential. Frankly, it was created to control people. Yes, I respect certain aspects of the good books because they lead to rational thinking and people doing things that are good for each other. Social por la gente, for the people. Okay, we'll go into that and the insecurities that come with it, and why we're angry, why we're mad, and why sometimes we make irrational decisions. I have a guest speaker that I'm trying to contact about that as well. I'm trying to get some Las Madres from La Frontera in Arizona that were leading the protest against Arpaio about 12 years ago that I protested with there. We have to work together. That's the main thing, okay? Number 9, ¿cómo se falla la gente? Marx. I kind of led up into this about a place and a space, having spirituality without religion. Karl Marx wrote about us being a derivative of our environment. Even biology teaches that it's such. Traditional theory, nature versus nurture. Nurture is what we live in. That's our space. I can go more into detail. I have tons of documentation. But that's something that's going to spin off into some very powerful stuff. And that's when I bring in Lee and Antonio. And we're going to work together with Coffee and Commies. We are the people. People are scared, and they should be. Our rights have been taken out from beneath our feet. But it's not a surprise for us that have been going through it all our lives. My Puma Rosa and Clarice, which are here, shout out to you, will tell you that there's a susto, a wound that is caused by the separation of ourselves and the people. This is very powerful stuff, and it should make your blood boil. It makes my blood boil. All right. My aim here is to do good. I want to be able to work with anybody who has an actual brain. And I've shown that. I've talked with Trumpers, for lack of better terms. MAGA nuts. They're still human beings at the end of the day. I'll leave it at that. I'm not going to give any negative connotation. Okay? So that's that. That's going to be powerful. D, Antonio, and all you guys with the commies, call me. We're going to talk. There's some stuff about the Mexican American Revolution and how New Mexico played a part in it that we need to talk about. And that'll probably lead to episode 13 to 20. Number 10 is for all of the people who have different views and don't, once they hear the term socialism or communism, they turn the blind eye and they do the same thing I did. They say, well, it works good on paper. I'm guilty of that. I used to do the same thing. However, once you start reading the social sciences, you might change your mind a little bit. That episode will actually honestly be about, it'll probably split off into a couple of days. There's a lot of content there. I'm trying to archive some stuff that's probably going to be banned soon. Hold on to your books. Antonio, hold on to your books, brother. We need them. We need that memory. We have a social memory. Write stuff down, archive it. I'm a tech guy. If you have digital content, burn it to a CD. It lasts 45 years. A CD and a burned DVD or a Blu-ray will last 45 years in archive. It's one of the best formats right now to preserve it for that long. A hard drive is susceptible to electromagnetic fields, etc. Burn it to optical media, okay? If you have important files, stuff like that, burn them. I'll go old school. I don't care if I have to send my horse to go get a CD from you. I've been saying it's going to get worse before it gets better. And I'm not irrational, I'm a realist, okay? So it's going to be about dealing with communists and socialists, which are more prevalent than you think. I lost a friend just recently this week because I told him some of my socialist beliefs. He freaked out. He didn't know what to do. I kept calm. I told him to get the fuck out of my property. I'll probably get banned for that comment because Facebook, sabes que? It's Facebook, but I don't care. I'll send you links. But I lost a friend because he was so insecure that I was for the power of the people. They just turned a blind eye and freaked out and started showing his male white privilege. Number 11, trabajando juntos y unidos. Juntos, together, unidos, united. You know what? There's enough of us that we can make a change. I don't want to make it seem like it's going to be easy. But let's work together. The main point of this podcast is for me to not preach to you or to tell you that I'm right and I know better or not. It's the fact that I'm just tired of this wasted energy by complaining and bitching and moaning about what everybody's saying, and because they're not in the same party as they are, blah blah blah. Do something. If you have to just highlight somebody's aggression, do it. Speak up. We see male white privilege every day. And I talk about that a lot because it's getting higher. This dude that was supposed to be my friend, he showed his male white privilege immediately when I started to show my power. ¿Y sabes qué? No siento nada por él. Porque él solo se fue. He went on his own path. I was trying to be honest and using this individual as an example, which I'm not going to name. I'm better than that. And then bajando la frontera, which translates kind of weird to English, right? Lowering the border. I did that on purpose. Change takes time, and it goes on both sides. You can't just lower the floodgates without having some kind of confluence that leads to some kind of, well, a vortex. When that much water mixes and it's going in different directions, it leads to turbulence. And I have to leave soon because I have my comrades here who allowed me a space because they're raza. Just remember that it's not taking down the border. There is no fucking border. The border crossed us. We did not cross the border. And those of you who don't understand, that's okay. I'm speaking mostly to my audience here in Wauwamakel at this point because this is my power base. However, I'm not going to exclude anyone. I welcome people who believe in Trump, people who believe in XYZ. If you have a valid point and you can speak without aggression and without disrespect, I will allow you a platform on my podcast. With that, thank you for listening tonight, everybody. There's going to be a lot more going on. I want you to get lit up, but user neural. I'm guilty of getting mad. Well, we should be mad. We should be very mad. I ask you to internalize it. Use that energy for good. Let's talk and work together. La raza unida sin fronteras.